had our playoff teams predicted yesterday.
Yeah.
So time for What's Your Beef, presented by Old Pepper Beef Jerky. Yesterday, when our playoff teams emerge, X had something to say about it, as we first take a look at Peter's picks and the public response to Peter's picks. Peter, walk us through what you got.
All right, so we'd come out there, we give our picks, we say, what do we think? Let's put it out there into the earth. This is the NFC. Cowboys fans had a field day with me. Disrespectful was the word used. There was an article written by like a reputable site being like, Peter Schrager disrespects the Cowboys.
Was it Blogging the Boys? I love those guys.
My guy, Brian Broaddus. Yeah, no, it was like, they disrespect. It's not disrespect. There's a lot of weird stuff with this Cowboys team, and when it came down to it, there was only so many seats at the inn, and I don't have the Cowboys in. So that was the biggest thing there. AFC, where do you want to start? You want to start with the Dolphins fan base that, is absolutely furious that for the second straight year I didn't put them in, even though last year they did go to the playoffs and they were the 1 seed for much of the season. Possibly. I'm not biased against Miami. I actually think they're going to be very good. Again, only so many seats. Broncos was the big one, though. For what? A rookie quarterback, the sixth quarterback taken. And I say this, and I know Justin Simmons is no longer there, and I know Tim Patrick's no longer there, and I know there's all these different things. I trust the coach. And in the NFL, coach matters. So 3 teams in the AFC West, and I think all 3 of those coaches, Andy Reid, Jim Harbaugh, and Sean Payton, are going to the playoffs. Here's some tweets, and let's...
People have some constructive criticism.
Elon Musk and his friends got for me.
Constructive criticism.
Okay, wow, they tagged about 40 times. I already know Purter is a Dolphins hater without saying it yet.
Purter.
What's up, Keith? I love that
Keith
Keith
is so mad.
Keith's got a check mark. I can't really, all right. Jets number 1 said everything you need to know about Peter. Yep, I'm foolish. Yep. And the last one, Peter, love you, but charter yes over the Raiders. I told you that. Come on. Come on, A-Rod.
Is this thing on? Do you understand what I just said?
A-Rod.
Be quiet.
It's one thing. Be quiet. It's one thing to be like, how do you leave the Dolphins out? Like the Raiders. If I say that the Broncos are going to be better than the Raiders and the Chiefs are going to be better than the Raiders, that's not crazy.
Does A-Rod even have the Raiders? Like,
come on. That's it. I don't know. Did any of us have the Raiders? To be honest, I don't think any of us did. So maybe they go and we all look foolish.
I actually had the Raiders in my heart.
Okay, that counts for something.
One team I didn't have in the AFC that I actually didn't hear a lot of groundswell of responses. I didn't have the Houston Texans. I had the Jaguars over the Texans. And that's the one I lost the most sleep over. And the reason is I feel really strongly about the Jaguars. I also think the Texans have a really difficult schedule now as the first place team. And I mentioned this yesterday on the show, and it's not to say that C.J. Stroud can't get it done. He absolutely will. He's a superstar, and he might be the MVP this season. They only played games in the 1 o'clock window last year. 17 regular season games, all at 1 o'clock. They played a primetime game in the playoffs, beat the Browns, and then had played a primetime game and lost to the Ravens. It's not like they can't perform in primetime. I'm not saying that. But what I am saying is this isn't the same just, hey, we're the Hunters and no one's looking at us and we're under the radar. Like, they are a team that everyone is watching and they have a loaded schedule. And I'd like to see how they handle that adversity this season because they didn't have to do that last year.
Good job, bud. When you don't collect the team, you look for some kind of foothold. That's why. That's your
hanging on like this.
You got to have one.
Yeah.
You got to have one. Akbar.
All right. Well,
let's go bring up Akbar's picks.
Yeah. As the resident rookie here, this one was very, very challenging for me.
It always is.
It took me some time, but here we go. AFC East, started that bad boy off with the Bills, and the Dolphins, fans, they definitely they were at me. Oh yeah, they were at me.
You also have them out.
But the one that I had the hardest time with was really genuinely the AFC North. That one, I just felt like it could go either way. I mean, top to bottom, maybe minus the Steelers. The Steelers are kind of like maybe the dark horse in there. But the Cleveland Browns, I really, really struggled with that one as well. And then we talked about the Texans and, of course, the Chiefs. The Chargers, I'm really, really excited about the Chargers and what they're going to do in the AFC West. Now, let's get over on the other side to the NFC. The NFC one, you know what? This surprised me because where there's a lot of hate, you also can get a lot of love. Can you figure out which of these teams gave me a lot of love on social media? This was really, really challenging. Any guesses?
The Falcons.
No, another bird, the Eagles.
Okay.
Showed some love for me, which was, I was like, all right, cool. I appreciate it. Chicago Bears, I told you guys, I'm all on the hype. I fell in love with watching Hard Knocks, but here's some of the tweets here.
Let's go
take
to
a
the
look at this
comment
one.
box.
Yeah. Here we go.
Akbar, a raise.
Akbar, a raise.
A good one?
With the
That's
J-Lo.
all right. For the Eagles, they're calling for a raise. I'm like, no, we need to stay on that one. That's impressive. I like that one. This one probably best predictions out of the group, and it has the Bears in the postseason. Attaboy. Hey, thank you, Hard Knocks, for kind of getting me there. And this last one here was like
the receipt.
Noted. But here's what you can't see because it wasn't cleared. It was a little scary. It was a Dolphin fan who had a camera, like one of those disposable cameras like this. I'm watching you. And I'm like, wait. So when I stepped out of the house this morning, I'm like, just making sure nobody's coming at me. You know what I mean?
That's
comforting, isn't it?
Yeah. Actually wise.
Yeah.
That's what we do.
It's Steve Buscemi and Billy Madison with the list. Like, you don't want that.
I didn't get any tweets from the producers that were like positive. Like,
thought it
way
was
to go, Schrager.
Peter just got
Akbar
kicked.
gets 4 pump-up speed. Okay, interesting choices, guys.
You think it's personal? So I was walking around backstage, and Jamie picked Tua to be your MVP, and I saw these backstage that she used. So I'm just going to put these on because I just want to feel cool about it.
You do look cool in them.
I just feel like immediately anesthetized.
You seem very cool.
If it's cool to not feel your legs, then I'm cool.
Chill.
Okay? Let's find out my picks. Let's just get into them. Let's go. AFC. Kind of stock on the left. Got a lot of returning champs. On the right, I don't care if you don't like the Steelers. To your question of how they get into 10 wins, they'll figure it out. They're the Steelers. The Dolphins, I had them in. You guys, a couple of you guys didn't. And then the Chargers. I said that they hired Jim Harbaugh, the Chargers would get in, and they will. NFC, National Football Conference. I have the Cowboys in. Why do you always hate the Cowboys? I promise you I don't. I think they're going to win the division. Falcons, yes. God, there's so much love on the Falcons. I was watching the show they were doing last night here in primetime that Rich was hosting with all the guys. So much love for the Falcons. Almost everybody picks them to take the NFC South. And then let's go to the social media. Let's go to the comment box. Let's go. Let's do this. No Eagles, Jets, or Packers. Kyle is cooked.
You just hate the color green.
And then maybe this person had a follow-up tweet that made me laugh out loud after that. And then he goes, also, including the Steelers should result in prison time. I should go to prison. Guys, it's the Steelers. I didn't put the Panthers in. The Steelers are always in the playoffs. Bengals dissolve as an organization or something. Mitch, I hear you. Why is it always so extreme?
So extreme. There's only 7.
Why can't it just be like, oh, not the Bengals? All right, well, I see it differently. I think they will make it. Dissolve the organization because I don't have the mighty Bengals as a wild. I'm sorry, guys. You only get so many spots. It's not. It really isn't personal. Actually, in some cases it is, but not against the Bengals.
Not against.
What do you got, Erdal?
Sunglasses look great on you. I go AFC first. I got a lot of love from Music City. The Tennessee Titans fans were thrilled that I put him in there. Like I said yesterday, I follow Brian Callahan. Sorry, Bengals. That is why I just went with my gut with the head coach and his move to Nashville. Kind of chalk on the left side of the screen as I take you to the NFC. And like Kyle said, the table, a lot of love for the Falcons. So I had the Buccaneers winning the NFC South. That was that was the one I lost the most sleep over. I just could not, out of good faith, leave Baker Mayfield out of the playoffs. I don't think the story is done. And I put the Bucs in. So give the heat now, unless if you're going to Peter's theory, it's going to be all glowing and sunshine social media response.
Release the hounds.
Oh, there we go. The Bengals are like Rodney Dangerfield here. You got no respect. Exactly.
Oh, jumper. Oh, no respect at all.
Rodney Dangerfield here.
Wow. Everybody's sleeping on the Vikings. Yeah, I am, because it's a terrible thing happened to your rookie quarterback.
Did this individual tag every person?
No, I did.
Every person in the world.
Okay.
Yeah.
Right.
I thought it was 180 characters. Smacky.
Right? So
I like when they get into the weeds. Solid run game. Like I actually respect that.
It's actually not a Vikings issue. It's the fact that the NFC North is great, and the other teams I think will be better. So.
And a salute
from the Titans.
We love the Titans.
Titans gave you some
love.
Yeah, straight from the Titans.
Oh, that's cool.
Yeah,
Respect.
we'll see. We'll see who else jumps on that. Like to your point, last year nobody picked the Chargers or the Rams into the playoffs.
Yes.
I may be the only media member who picks the Titans, but whatever.
That's great.
If you're right, then
You
you're
guys both. I mean, the Cardinals. No one else I've seen do the Titans. Your big swing was the Bears, I thought, but also
or the Bengals.
Or the
Yeah,
Bengals.
the Bengals. Yeah.
For me, it was the Broncos. I don't think anyone else is picking the Broncos. So we all have these little pet teams that, hey, you're not just going to do this stock. You've got to take a big swing.
Okay, great.
But there's also teams that have been left out, which is...
They ran this stat last night on the primetime show. I wish I could remember, but it spoke to how much turnover there are in playoff teams every year, and it's way more than you think. It was something like 6 new teams every single year that weren't in last year. So when we see all those division winners and we're just doing the Chiefs and the Texans and the Ravens, it doesn't usually work out.
Not a soul picked the Rams, not a soul picked the Texans last year. They were 2 of the best stories in football.
Yeah.
So what you think at home might not be right. And maybe we aren't either.
Shout out to producer Gina, who probably had to put on a hazmat suit to go through those Twitter responses.
Yeah.
And she picked some nice ones. Like I'm sure there was some very vile ones.
You got one for Peter.
Oh, where
you
you
did
go?
get one for Peter.
What do you got?
Sweeping the positive energy is what Amanda needed this morning.
Okay. What's up, Gudowitz? I see you.
Amanda's thrilled.
Yeah, sure. I mean, look, I'm out on a limb on the Jets, and I also have the Bills in the playoffs. The Dolphins are the team that I have disrespected.
If you missed it, Peter stood on the shoulders of a young boy's mental health in his speech about Aaron Rodgers, and it was very, very moving.
It's emotional. It's emotional.
He picked Rodgers.
Max,
The kid didn't want to wear the
jersey for you?
Max, I hope you're doing all right out there, buddy.